Alright, so let's go over your do now real quick. Um, these, oh, it's this one, sorry. You would have found them in the lab page. So if you don't know where to find the answers, they're right here. So read it and go back and answer it. But if you answered them already, let's just go over them real quick. So it says large data sets are difficult to process using a single computer. That's true. Um, Data sets can be millions of records. So using a single computer could take them a long time. Processing data sets may require a parallel computing solution. So again, they're difficult to process on a single computer. So parallel computing means multiple computers. Um, so this is true, right? If it's too difficult for one, then it may require multiple ones. So parallel. Scalability is never an issue when it comes to data processing. Scalability, it just means um, the ability to do more, so to kind of increase. So if you want to increase your data processing, you need more computers. So it is an issue. So this is false, right? It is an issue. So never. That's the keyword. That's wrong. Then scientists suggest using multiple expensive computers for small data sets. So if you have small data sets, you don't need multiple computers. Um, Large data sets are difficult for one computer, but a small data set, a regular computer should be able to do this. So this is false. Yeah. Um, so make sure you click on the same link from yesterday, like same lab link. These are the questions that you did yesterday. Um, Go on the next page. And so it says computers can be used for processing data and to gain information, but your ability to process data depends both on your capabilities and the tools you have available. On this page, you will build various tools, specifically selectors, to help you answer questions about data that interests you. So we're going to start a new project and save it as data processing. So there's no link. So you're going to have to open a new tab and go on Snap. So Snap Berkeley, right? And then it's this one, and then you click Run Snap, and this is very familiar. And then, oh, why is this here? I just need to close it real quick. Yeah. And then it says visit this website and select the dataset you'd like to explore. So this link is broken for some reason. So just instead of clicking that link, type Corgis dataset project, like that, and then whatever the first link is, that's the one that you should click. So click on that one, and then make sure you click on the one that says CSV, and then you can choose whichever one you want. I'm gonna choose cars, just cause that's kind of easy. So, but I mean it's the same. We're not working with data. We're working with Snap. So just click on cars, or whichever one you want, and then where it says download, click on the link that says download. Then it should say something.csv. So in this case it says cars.csv. Then click on it. And I already have it, but it's gonna download it there for you. Then what you have to do once you downloaded it, it says open Snap and drag the file into the Snap window, and you'll see a table full of data. And so you should just look at it there. Okay, so now that you have your file downloaded, you will want to drop it here. So go on here on Chrome, it should be the exact same button, and you're just gonna look for where it says downloads. So Control J, and you have it right here, and then you just drop it right there, and you get this table, which is the file that you just downloaded. So click OK, and you have it here in this variable. Oh, what did I do? Oh, did I just do something that I shouldn't have? I think I did. Yeah, so just keep it there. Don't click on that variable button. Just keep it there. And you have it here on the screen. So before we do these, we want to write some definitions. So in the back of your paper, again, write these definitions. So a record is one row in the data set. One row. A record is one row in a data set. One row. That's a W. I forgot who it was to tell me to fix my handwriting. It was Morgan. Sorry. So a single row. It could be data for one student, for one earthquake, for one hospital. So in the case of this, it would be for one car, because we're talking about cars. So one record would be like this whole thing right here, or like 1, 2, 3, 4, the rows, right? And they all stand for things about one car. Then we have a field, and a field, I'm not writing it. A field is one item of a record in a data set. One item of a record in a data set. So in the case of our snap, if one of these is a record, so let's look at record 5, right? It's the whole row. So a field would be one item out of 5, like of this row. So one item of this row would be, for example, 202, right? It's item 3 of record 5. It might be one person's homeroom teacher, the magnitude of an earthquake. So it's like a more specific thing. So for example, this is the cars, and item 3 is one of the dimensions of the car, of car 5. So yeah. And then the column is a list containing one field for all records in the data set. So a column, and again, make sure you're writing these down, is a list containing all data of one field for all records. So if you have, oh, there's this video right here that shows it. So this is the record, that's a column, right? The whole thing, and the field is the singular one. So this video kind of helps you visualize the difference. So the row is the whole thing horizontally. The column is the whole thing vertically, and the field is just a specific number. So those are some things that we need to know. And another one would be cleaning data. And this means the process of making, oh, again, I forgot to write it. Oh, not a calculator. The process of making data uniform uniform without changing its meaning. Okay, so we have these definitions. So now we have to make some blocks that do these things. So we'll start by cleaning data. So we have these things, or this huge data, and we want to clean it. So we want to make it uniform. And the only thing that's different, you see, like these are all numbers and words. It's this part right here. So these are the headings. So for example, the first thing that we need to do is make a block that locates all but first of, so these selectors, these two basically, the heading and then the data. So we want to separate them, right? So to find the headings, we'll make a new block. So make a new block from lists, make it a reporter, and call it headers of, and then we'll add a parameter, make it a list, and then just call it data set. And so the headers are these things. So if you notice, it would be the first item. So then you just need item 1 of dataset. And if you do that, header of our list is in this variable, cars, right? So the headers are just these, which is this whole thing. So you see there we get the height, the length, the width of the car, the driveline information, the engine type, if it is a hybrid, a lot of things. Basically all these. Yeah, so that's one. What about the other one? What's the next one? Oh, headings and then the actual data. So now we want everything but the headings. So let's make a new block. Data of, again, make it a reporter from lists. Add a parameter, that's a list called dataset. So we want everything but the header. So you have this one that says all but first item, because we know that the header is the first item. So all but first of dataset. Click apply, click OK. Data, and then just cars right there. Oh, I did not just do that. Oh, yeah, don't click on it. Because it'll give you the whole data. Then you have to click out of it, yeah. So you can click on this part. But basically it gives you everything but the headers, right? So you just get a bunch of data, and we just cleaned it. We just cleaned our data set. So now it's the actual just information. So keep these two here. Then we'll do one that takes a whole record, so specific car information, then the field of that record, and then one that takes the column. Okay, so let's start with the record. So we need record blank of table. So make a new block, reporter list, record of table. And then we need a blank right here. Record. So we need to know which record, and then of table, and this will be the list of the data set. So we want to take, for example, we want record 2, we would want this whole thing right here. So this is pretty easy. We just want item, for example, item, or whatever the item they want, of the data of our cards, right? We don't, like if they put 1, we don't want the headers, so we would take one of these blocks, the data of the cars. So we just want the data. So we click OK. Oh, I didn't click apply. Apply. So now we have this one. So let's pretend we want the information of car 7. We just put 7 right here. Of which table of cars? And bam, you have information of car 7. So there's 91, 17, 62, 91, 17, 62. All-wheel drive. It's an Audi. You see it right here. True. So that's how we get specific records. Perfect. So now let's make the field. So how is it supposed to be called? Field blank of record. So you say field of record. Make it a list, make it a reporter. And we need a blank right here, so this will say field. And this is the list. It's a record, not a data set. So now, if we want, let's say we only want to know if it's a hybrid or not, right? So it would be field 6. So we would want item 6. So for example, item 6 of this record, it would say true because number 7 is a hybrid, and that's something that we're able to get from here, right? So it would be item 6. This one says if it's a hybrid or not, and that would say true right there. So we have to build one of these right here. So item blank of record. So duplicate this one and put it here. So whatever record comes from here, the field comes from here. So it should look like this. So now if we try it, so for example, record 7 of cars, we already know this, and we want field 11. So what is field 11? 11 is the highway MPG. So this one is 6 miles per gallon. So 6 of record. Oh, this should be. Okay, yeah, change this shouldn't be a list. This should be a number. So yeah, so change this one to being a number. My bad. So the record should be 7. So field 6 of record 7. That's true. Okay, that's not right. Oh yeah, field 6. Okay, so if we want to know the MPG, we'll put 11. No, I'll say 26. If we want to know something else, the model year, so we want field 15. We know it's an Audi A5 2003. Yeah, so sorry for the confusion. And then the last one is a column. So this one is a little trickier because now we just want like the whole column. So this one should be column of table. So column of table. Again, make it a list, make it a reporter. Column of table. So there should be a blank right here. This should be column of table, and now this is a list. Data set. So to return the column, it would be that for everything in this data set, if we want item 3 of every item in this data set, that would be the whole column. So for example, let's pretend we want this, like to see the year and model of the cars. So we want for every record, for every car here, we want field 15. So to do that, we could use a for each, but we're gonna do this one. So grab this map function, and then you put the data set here, and then you map item or whatever column they gave you. So if you have this is what we want. So so item is item. Oh, we could leave that there. It only has to go like this. So map item column of, leave this list blank over data set. I'm pretty sure. So again, if we want to know the year and the models of the car, this would be 15. And we can see here, all of the item, or all the year and the models. If we want the classification, so that will be 12. We have all the classifications here. So you can play around with this, right? And this is just being able to select specific kinds of data. Challenges in connecting data. So again, we would have struggled if we didn't clean it before, right? Because we would have gotten some random headings, or that would have thrown everything off. So cleaning data is very important. And then the last thing that you need to know, you don't need to know, like we're not going to do this. This is too much, too complicated, and it won't help you. It just make you confused. So we're going to skip all the way to page 6. And then answer these 2 questions. This is based on metadata. So your last vocabulary word for the unit. Metadata. So metadata right here. is data about data. So all this is like is information about data stored in your computer. So for example, let's say that you sent a text to your friend, right? So you have a text message. Metadata is just it's like stored right here, right on top of it. And this metadata has um, what it is the date of when you sent it, the device, and maybe the location. And this, whenever your text is sent to someone, it gets sent with the metadata. Um, it's just like information. So it says here, metadata tell you additional information about the data you're working with and can be used to organize and manage your data. So for example, in your pictures in your phone, some of them have location, right? So if you go like on Google Photos, you can sort them by location. And if you look for pictures taken in Texas, like all the pictures that have the Texas location in them will appear. So it's just like a stamp for your data. These questions about metadata are similar to those you will see on the AP exam. So again, these questions are like very critical. Like you have to think. You have to like make it make sense. You have to have common sense and critical thinking. And this just takes practice, right? So answer these two questions, and then take a screenshot of when you get them right, and upload them into Teams. Also save this, save this, save it, and then share it and submit it into Teams. Okay. So the last thing, I'll just go over these two questions, and then that's it. That's it for Unit 5. No more videos. But yeah, okay. So a new mobile phone company. Make sure you answer it before the answer. A new mobile phone company periodically records random snippets of their conversation and considers the recordings as data. In addition, it collects the following metadata on the conversations. So there's a phone company that collects this data on conversations: the start and end time, the phone numbers, and the locations. Which of following goals would it be more useful to analyze the data instead of metadata? So metadata is this. Data would be whatever's like actually in the conversation. So the recordings, right? So like whatever they're talking about. So which one would be more useful to know what they're talking about instead of the location and the start and end time and the phone numbers? So to determine the time and day the app used most frequently in a certain geographic location, so location and time of day, that's metadata, right? You have right here, location and time. So this one's not it. To determine the language most commonly used in user conversations, we don't see the language at all here, right? So that should be your answer. Determine the most active users of the app in a given year. So you know the users because you know their phone numbers, and how much, right? So because you know the start and end time. And then if any of the users were present at the time or place of a crime, well, you know where they are and you know the time, so you would know if they're at a crime scene. So this would be, all of them are metadata except this one. So yeah, the conversation data itself would be analyzed for this, not the metadata. Which of following is not an example of metadata? So data about a web page containing a description of a page content, list of keywords linked to content. So it's data about data. This is information about a page. So it's data about data. This one seems correct. So we're looking for the incorrect example. Data about a digital image describing the size, the image resolution. So this is information about an image. So this one's not the answer, right? Because this is metadata. Data about a text document contains information about the length of the document, its author, and the date the document was written. So again, if you have a text, all the information, it's data about data. So this is also not the answer. Data about a pack of wolves, describing their habitat, hunting habits, and sleep cycles. So a pack of wolves, their habitat. I don't think that's data. I would say this is the answer. It's either this one or the first one, but this one seems more like it because it's not data. A web page would still be considered data, right? Data about wolves is not data about data. Yeah, because the wolves are not data; they're just wolves. So that's it. Again, there's not gonna be any more videos. If someone get their hands on the study guide, send me a picture, or have someone send me a picture so I can kind of go over them. My forgetful self forgot to download the Unify review before I transferred everything over, and I lost access to most stuff, so I don't have the review here. But if someone, please, someone, if you want me to go over the review, just send it over to me and I can review it with you. But yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, and you're done. Make sure you take a picture of this and turn it in. Also the snap link. Turn it in.